All right, welcome to your Hatha 1 practice. We'll get started here in crocodile pose on our bellies. And as you settle in on your tummy, make sure again your head is resting on something, your legs feel comfortable and supported. If this position is not comfortable for you, feel free to roll over and lay on your back. So as you settle in, make any little movements that you need to feel more comfortable. This posture will give us an opportunity just to check in and see how we're doing today. So take a moment to ask yourself the question, how am I feeling? Are there any sensitivities in the body or limitations that I want to be aware of today? And you may notice as the body becomes more still, you're able to pay attention to more that's happening in the body. So for example, tuning into the breath. So allow your breath to be as easy and effortless as you can. And you might notice if you're on your belly, you'll notice that the belly gently presses into the floor without any extra effort as you inhale, and gently softens as you exhale. And as you continue kind of watching your breath and taking an assessment of the body at the beginning of your practice, start to smooth out any rough edges. So any pauses between the breath, any jerkiness, just kind of soften around those and let the breath become smooth and even and deep into the belly and the low back. A few more breaths here. And then finally take a moment to notice the quality and pace of your thoughts. So looking at the mind. So is the mind running pretty fast today? Is it more slow paced or dull? Are you feeling spacey or grounded, quick or slow? Again, no judgment, just kind of noticing where we begin. And the body may be wondering, when are we going to move? That's fine. But this space at the beginning of your practice is quite important. So you know as you're going along, is my yoga practice helpful over time? Not just today, but over time. And then as you're ready, we'll begin to rock the head gently from side to side, keeping the breath nice and easy and effortless today. Have a well-rounded practice, a little bit of everything in the traditional Hatha sequence. And then if you're not on your back already, go ahead and gently roll over onto your back. And we'll start to warm up through the spine and through the core. So widen the feet as wide as your mat and let the arms come out to a comfortable distance. And as you inhale, let the knees sway to the right. You can look to the left. And as you exhale, draw the belly in and draw the knees back to center. Inhale, let the knees sway to the left, look to the right. And exhale, knees and head back to center. And just keep going like that. Again, with your breath, you may be at a different pace of breath than IQ. And so go with your breath pace today. And just one more to each side. And once you've done an equal amount on both sides, come back to center, heel toe the feet to about hip distance apart. We'll draw the right knee in towards the chest. You can hug behind the thigh or in front of the shin. And let the shoulders and elbows soften. And then if you wish, you can lengthen your left leg long on your mat. And you can stay here and enjoy the stretch. If you'd like a little bit more heat right away, you can let that left leg hover just above the mat, draw the belly in. And if you'd like a little bit more, you can lift the upper body, look towards your left toes. Again, check in with your breath at each of these points. And then maybe keep breathing smoothly. You release the arms parallel with that left leg. And then as you're ready, release that left leg, hug in that right knee, and place your right foot to the floor. So we'll take the other side, draw the left knee in towards the chest, and then soften the elbows and the shoulders. So keeping this easy breath, whether you stay here or move to a different variation. So next option is to lengthen that right leg long. We'll just take a couple breaths in each variation to kind of feel and notice where you want to stop and kind of explore. You can hover that right leg. You can lift the upper body. And notice how the breath changes. So for me, the breath gets a little bit more shallow, a little bit more difficult to get a deep breath, and that's fine. We just want to keep the breath smooth. Maybe you release the arms. And then we'll release, hug that left knee in one more time. Place the left foot to the floor, right foot to the floor, close to the feet, and arms down by your sides, palms face down. So the next time you exhale, draw the navel in and up. And as you inhale, press into the arms and the feet and lift the hips. So bridge pose. And then as you exhale, lower the hips to the floor. Take the full breath to lower. And as you inhale, press into the backs of the arms and the feet to lift the hips. And so we'll keep going. So we're starting to gain or wake up the stability in the back body here. And continue to move the breath. So this is the breath to movement practice here. If you'd like, you can add the arms. As you inhale, reach the arms up and overhead as you lift the hips. And as you exhale, lower the hips and the arms. The hands and the hips touch at the end of the exhale. So more than the movement, you can simply focus on the movement, that's for sure. But if you'd like to add an additional layer, coordinate that breath with the movement. Nice. And then you can stay here or take kind of a cross body movement. So as you inhale, you'll lift the hips, reach the right arm up and over to the left. You'll roll onto that left shoulder. And then as you exhale, lower back down. Inhale, press into the feet, roll onto the right shoulder, lift up and over to the right. And then exhale to lower. Again, you can simply keep it here, doing a straight traditional bridge, or you can take those cross body bridges here. Get a little bit more of a stretch. And then coming back to center, release. Draw the knees into the chest, hug them in. You can rock from shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip, or make some circles on the low back in one direction and then the other. And then your choice, you can roll to one side or start to gain some momentum and rock and roll up and down the spine. A little bit of spinal massage. If your floor is really hard, this might not be very fun. So go ahead and roll to one side. And then we'll come on to hands and knees. If you are on a hard surface, you can place a blanket underneath the knees, the pins there if your knees are sensitive. A tabletop pose. And a little bit of engagement in the low belly to support the low back. Next time you exhale, press into the hands, round the spine towards the sky, tuck your chin. And as you inhale, soften the belly and lift the heart. So cow pose, round the spine into angry cat pose as you breathe out. And as you breathe in, soften the heart forward, cow pose. And keep going just like that. The eyes can be opened or closed here. Eyes closed, a little bit more internal. And then the next time you round the spine towards the sky, tuck the chin and stay here and breathe. So send the breath, direct your breath into your back body, the mid back, lower back, kidneys here. Keep drawing in the navel and the chin. And then the next time you inhale, soften the belly towards the floor, lift the heart, and we'll stay here for a couple of breaths. So press into the hands, lift the heart and the tailbone. Nice, steady breath. And then come back to center. Walk the hands forward. Okay, and you might stay a little bit more upright. This is puppy pose, but draw the navel in and up just to protect the low back. You might start to walk the hands forward and start to lower the heart or the head towards the floor. So notice that the hips are high over the knees. We're lowering, we're stretching out through the side body, front body, armpits. Nice, steady breath. And then engage the low belly. Come back up onto hands and knees. Place your right hand underneath your face. Sweep that left arm out to the side and up. You can look up if you like. And then as you breathe out, dive that left arm behind the right. Look over that right shoulder. Inhale, open out to the left. And exhale, take your twist. Just take one more. Inhale. Getting into all movements of the spine. Exhale. Inhale, reach up, spread your wings here, and then release. Left hand comes underneath the face, a little bit ahead of the shoulder. Inhale, sweep that right arm out to the side and up, and exhale the twist. Keep going about 3 to 4 rounds total. Next time you inhale, reach towards the sky, and then release. Walk your hands forward of your shoulders, about a handprint. Tuck the toes. Now you're always welcome to stay here in tabletop pose today if you don't want to do an inversion. Otherwise, tuck your toes. We'll lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog, upside down V here. So notice if you want your hands a little bit farther or closer away from your feet. And then you can pedal the feet, bending one knee and then the other. Welcome to shake the head yes and no. And sway the hips from side to side here. And then come back to center. Bend the knees a lot. Press into your hands. Lift the hips high if you're in down dog. And then straighten the knees any amount. They don't need to go straight. The heels don't need to touch the floor. Just working to lengthen through the spine. When you're ready, walk your hands back toward your feet. Lift the hips high. Head relaxes and releases. Forward fold. And then bend the knees, start to round up the spine. So draw in on the low belly as you round up the spine, one vertebra at a time, coming to standing at the back of your practice space. And then hands heart center here. Inhale, fill the low ribs. Exhale, draw in the low belly. And then from here, we'll take a little walk towards the top of our mat. I'll come to the center here. Standing in Tadasana at the front of your practice space. You breathe in again, sweep the arms up and overhead, a little more breath to movement. As you exhale, grab your left wrist with your right hand and side bend to the right. Inhale, come back to center, reach up. Exhale, grab your right wrist with your left hand, side bend to the left. Inhale, back to center, reach up. Exhale, ground into the heels, widen the elbows, palms face forward. As you inhale, tip the elbows forward and up, lift the heart. And then exhale, tuck the chin, round the upper back, bring the forearms and the palms together. Inhale, reach the arms up, separate the arms. And then exhale, widen the arms back to mountain pose, standing up nice and tall. Try that one more time. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, grab your right wrist with your left hand, side bend. Lots of length. Inhale, come back up. Side bend to your right. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bend the elbows wide. Inhale, keep the belly lifted in and up as you lift the elbows. And then exhale, round the upper back, tuck the chin, bring the forearms, palms together. Inhale, reach up, separate the arms, and exhale, arms come down by your side. Nice. Take a deep inhale here, hands to the heart. Exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. You can bend the knees as much as you need. Lift halfway, fingertips to shins, or if you have blocks, you can bring your hands to blocks. On your next breath out, forward fold. Soften the knees, soften the head and the neck. Rise to stand, reach on up, tall mountain, and hands come to heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Fingertips to blocks or shins, lift halfway. And then place your hands to blocks or floor. Step your right foot back and the knee comes down. Again, you can pad the knee if that's helpful for you. Top of the back foot presses into the floor. Draw in on your low belly, and on your next breath in, reach the arms up for a low lunge. So we'll be here for a few breaths. Not so concerned about dipping the hips towards the floor. Okay? More concerned about drawing in and up on the low belly, in and up in the hips so you feel very stable and you can reach up from there. All right, let's take a twist from here. So squeeze the inner thighs and then twist towards your left, open the arms out to a T. Okay. Take a breath or two here. And again, notice that it might be a little more difficult to get a deep breath. That's okay. Just let the breath be nice and smooth. Inhale, come back to center, reach the arms up. And then as you exhale, we'll twist again. Place your right hand to the floor inside that left foot and reach your left arm to the sky. Next, look to the floor, place your hands to the floor, tuck your back toes, and send your left foot back to meet the right, into plank pose. So you can stay on toes here or lower the knees at any time, but the hips are in line with the shoulders and the knees. They're not up in a tabletop pose. Okay. And then from here, draw the elbows in and lower yourself all the way to the floor. Tops of the feet press down, lift your heart forward, cobra pose. Take a breath or two here. Pull the hands back on your mat. They won't move, but pull them back to reach the heart forward. And then lower the chin just slightly, press into the hands, come back to the top of a push-up, and back to downward facing dog. So look back towards your feet, your ankles, or your knees. Again, you can move, you can pedal the feet, do what you need to do. And then we'll look forward and step or help that right foot forward, back knee down. So we're on the other side now. Top of the back foot down. And as you inhale, reach the arms up and come into your lunge. So find that balance point between too far forward and too far back in your lunge to where you feel nice and stable. And then we'll take the twist. So breathe out as you twist towards your right. Open the arms out. Take a couple breaths here. And notice how you can use your exhale to twist a little bit further. Inhale, come back to center. Take a deep breath. Let's twist again. So left fingertips or hands to the floor. Reach that right arm up and twist. Breath in and out. And then release. Hands to the floor. Tuck your back toes and take a step up and forward fold. Release your head and neck. Bend the knees, round up the spine, press into the feet, reach on up, and hands to heart center here. Deep breath in, and full breath out. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold, tuck your chin. Lift halfway here, and then step your left foot back, and the knee comes down. Inhale, sweep the arms up, come into your lunge. Exhale, twist towards your right, open the arms wide. Inhale, come back through center, and then place your left hand to the floor, sweep that right arm up again, twist. Release your hands to frame your front foot, tuck your back toes, and step back to plank pose. Bless you, my husband. And then as you're ready, lower the knees to the floor, press the hips back to child's pose. Inhale, come back into plank pose. And lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Again, always an option to place the knees to the floor for tabletop pose. Look forward. You can tense up on the left hand if it gives you more space to step that left foot forward and the back knee, top of foot comes down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, twist towards the left. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, twist again, place the right hand to the floor, sweep the left arm up. Inhale, come on back up to that lunge. And then place the hands to the floor, step up, forward fold. Rise to stand, touch the sky. And hands heart center here. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. From here, take a big step back with your right foot and open out to the wide edge of your mat. So your left toes face forward, your right toes face the wide edge of your practice space. And then bend into that front knee, that left knee, any amount. So you can bend where the thighs parallel if you need more heat today. You can keep a little more shallow if you're paying attention to joints and knees and all of that. You need a little more ease. Reach the arms out to a T, warrior two. And find your shoulders, your heart centered over the hips. You're not leaning too far forward or too far back. So very stable here. And from that lower body stability, we'll move in the upper body. So as you breathe out, place the left forearm to the left thigh, sweep the top arm to the sky or overhead. And as you inhale, come on back up, warrior two. Exhale, side angle pose, forearm to thigh, top arm to sky or overhead. Inhale to come on back up, warrior two. Take a couple more like that, just 2 to 3 more. Let the movement last as long as your breath. This time, stay in side angle pose for another breath or two. This is a twist as well, right? So you can press into that bottom forearm and open the heart towards the sky. The left fingertips can reach for the floor or block as well if you have that range of motion. And then from here, look towards your front toes. Turn your shoulders to face that front knee and place your fingertips to floor or to blocks. Pop your back foot up about a foot or two and square your hips towards the front of the mat. So now instead of open, the hips are squared towards the short edge of your mat. Bend into that front knee again. And as you inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. We're now in warrior one. So adjust your stance as you need to again so you feel very stable. It could be a fairly shallow bend, or again, you can bend fairly deep, making sure you have control over the body and the breath. Widen the arms, wide out into a T. Lift the heart like we did earlier. And then round the upper back, bring the backs, the palms together in front of you. So the wave-like motion. Inhale, open. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the upper back. And then keep going just like that. So notice where you're feeling stable, hopefully in the legs, the hips, the low belly. And from there, notice where you can find some freedom in the upper body. Next time you open out, so it's your choice where you'd like to stay for a couple breaths. Do you want to stay more open, like so? Or do you want to round forward and tuck the chin? So wherever you've chosen, we'll stay here for a few breaths. And then straighten the front leg, reach the arms up and overhead, get lots of length, and release the hands to your hips. We're going to fold forward just to about 45 degrees to start. So even if you're quite flexible, stay a little bit more up. Press into the feet and squeeze the inner thighs. Now you're welcome to stay here, placing a hand on the thigh or to the shin. You're welcome to start to fold a little bit more forward if you have that space, and place the hands to blocks or floor. So we're coming towards pyramid pose. Final option is to round the upper back and let the torso lay over that front leg. But again, these are not better or worse options. The best option is the one that works for you, where you can breathe and feel stable. And then bend into that front knee. On an inhale, take a deep breath in as we sweep the arms and the torso upright again. Find that strong warrior two. And then a simple step up, hands to heart center, mountain pose. Deep breath in and full breath out. And we'll take that to the other side. I'm going to turn to face you. So when you're ready, take a step back with your left foot and open out to the wide edge of your mat. So we're coming back to warrior two here. So find a nice, steady, wide stance and reach the arms out to a T. Okay. So this front knee is tracking towards the middle or little toes. It's not buckling in. And once you feel stable, as you inhale, reach from front to back, and then exhale, right forearm to right thigh. Scoop that top arm to the sky or over the ear. We'll keep going just like that, so you know where we're going. As you move in and out of side angle pose. And you make the movement last as long as the breath. And notice when the breath becomes more smooth, the movement becomes more smooth as well. Next time you come into side angle pose, stay. And then maybe press into that bottom forearm or bottom hand if fingertips are to the floor. And rotate the heart towards the sky, so a little twist. And then look towards the floor, let your hands frame your front foot. Hop that back foot forward, a couple of inches or so. And then bend into that front knee and reach the arms and the torso upright for warrior one. And oftentimes it'll need to be a little fidgeting and wiggling to find your length and distance, your stance. And then from here we'll move. So open the arms out wide, spread the fingers wide, lift the heart. And as you breathe out, tuck your chin, round and reach forward, back of palm touch. Keep going just like that. And you might notice the feet are adjusting, the body's adjusting to you moving forward and back. It's a beautiful thing. And then choose, do you want to stay for a few breaths in the rounded forward position or the more open position? And then as we're here, try to smooth out, soften the breath. When you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up, extend that front knee and reach the hands to the hips. So lots of length on the front body as you lean forward, tuck your chin. Again, just to about 45 degrees is kind of a checkpoint. So you can rotate the hips forward, make sure you feel nice and stable. And maybe you stay right here, hands to the front knee or above the top, above the knee, excuse me. Maybe you start to lean forward a bit more. Maybe you reach hands to blocks or floor. So directing the breath into the back body, the kidneys here. And then look forward, bend into that front knee, press into the feet to reach the arms up, warrior one, nice and strong. And then hands to the hips. Turn your toes to face the wide edge of your practice space. Turn your body the same, so you're in a wide-legged stance. And then soften the knees, ground into the hips. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, get tall. And then exhale, hands come to the hips or to the low back as you lean forward. Again, just about 45 or 90 degrees. Notice how you're feeling here, if this is enough. If you'd like, you can start to lean forward a bit more. Maybe you keep your hands at your low back. Maybe you let the hands come to blocks or to the floor. As we forward fold here. So a couple of things to notice. Sometimes we check out in the feet and the legs, right? So let the weight come centered over the arches of the feet and then press the floor down as you squeeze the muscles of the legs in and up to support the forward folds. And then we'll take a twist from here. So walk your hands forward so your spine is parallel to the floor. Bend your right knee. Again, you can place your hand on the floor or on a block right underneath your face. And then sweep that right arm out to the side and up for a twist. Notice where you want your gaze to be so that the neck feels comfortable. If you'd like a little bit more, you can straighten that right leg and lean back into the upper back. Last breath here. And then bend into that right knee and release. Both hands to the floor, really lengthen through the top of the head. And then right hand right underneath the face on block or floor. Bend into that left knee. Suck in the low belly here just for support and sweep that left arm out to the side and up. So we press into that bottom hand strongly. Find a steady gaze, soften your toes. And then find your breath. So nice, steady breath, as smooth as you can. Welcome to straighten that left leg if you wish and lean back. And then soften the knees and release. Bend both knees, hands to the hips, reach the heart forward, and on the inhale, come all the way up. Okay. Heel toe or hop the feet together. And we'll take our balance. So warrior three, again, blocks or a stack of books, a low table or chair is nice. Standing at the top of your practice space in mountain pose, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift up in the heart, and exhale, feel grounded in the heels. Shift your weight into that right foot and just let your left foot hover. So it's just hovering above the mat. Flex your foot. And then from here, simply start to lean forward. We'll hinge forward in that right hip socket and extend that left leg back behind us. So kind of on a diagonal right now, airplane pose. Hands can stay at the heart. They can come out to the sides. They can flail about, whatever works for you. And then if you wish, you can start to lean a little more forward. As much as you lean forward, kick back. Okay, so that balance of reaching back and reaching forward. Couple more breaths here. Arms can reach overhead for an additional challenge. And then we'll unhinge. Try to let that left foot just hover above the mat. You can tap down if needed and draw that left knee in towards the chest. So standing staff here. Inhale and exhale. And release. Go ahead and shake it out. Lots of work on that right leg there. And we'll take the other side. Shift the weight into that left foot. Let your right foot just hover, just so the body kind of knows, hey, and gets used to that balance. And all of that work we've done, the legs and the core comes into play now. So engage the low belly just enough as you start to kick back and lean the heart up and out. Airplane pose. Or again, start to lean a little more forward. Body and back leg parallel with the floor, warrior three. Hands can reach for the floor or blocks here, overhead. Kind of play with the balance. And then unhinge, come on back up. Try to let that right foot just hover as you bend the knee and bring it up towards the chest, standing staff. Nice, steady breath. And release, beautiful. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold, let all that go. Inhale, lift way. And then plant the hands, the right foot back and the left foot back for plank pose. This has been kind of a heat building practice. Hopefully you have a little heat built up with all of the twists we've done. We'll take one last shot at some heat building here. So you can lower the knees at any time. Press into the palms, or excuse me, the base of each finger. Press the floor away. Lift the low belly. And if you like a little bit more of a challenge, Swivel the heel towards the left onto the outer edges of the feet or the outer edges of the knees, your choice, and reach that right arm to the sky, side angle pose. Oh, excuse me, side plank pose. And then come back to center if you've chosen side plank to regular plank. We'll take the other side. So shift the heel to the right, press into that bottom hand, reach your left arm toward the sky. But try not to let the hips sink, really squeeze the hips and lift them up. And then coming back to center. Plank pose here, reach your heart forwards. And then lower the knees, send the hips back towards the heels, child pose. So release your head onto something here. Let the knees come wide so the belly can be soft. If the head doesn't quite touch the floor, you can stack the fists or again, grab that cushion or blocks just to let the head and the neck rest for a moment. So deep breath in, let the belly be really soft between the inner thighs. And a deep breath out. Just coming back to center after all that standing work, just kind of stilling the mind for a moment. And then look forward. We'll start to shimmy our way forward onto our bellies, legs out long behind us. And forehead or chin to the floor. So arms down by your side just for a moment. Take a deep breath in, fill the low back. And a full breath out. Let the front body sink into the floor. And then from here, we'll bring ourselves up onto our forearms. So a nice distance is for the elbows. A nice way to measure is grabbing opposite elbows with the hands, kind of let you know how far apart the elbows can be. And this is a variation of crocodile pose right here. So if you're comfortable right here, you can walk the elbows forward and lay down a little bit further if that's better for your low back. If you'd like, you can start to walk the elbows back so you're lifted into more of a Sphinx pose. The legs are fairly close together, tops of the feet pressed down. And with Sphinx pose, we want to make sure that we do have some support around the low back. So the navel touches the floor, but we're kind of drawing the navel away from the floor, intending it to draw away. So navel draws in towards the spine and the heart reaches forward. It is a very active pose. You're reaching the toes back. You're lifting the belly. You're reaching the heart up. And then release. Just waddle the elbows forward. Rest your head on your forearms. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. And then second round of Sphinx. So walk your elbows back to where they were before. Again, you can stay laying on the floor, just flat. This is also an extension. Walk the elbows back to where they were before. Maybe you release the forearms to where the fingertips face the front of your practice space. Maybe you walk the elbows a little farther underneath the shoulders to lift a little higher. But again, reach the toes back, draw the belly in, and reach the heart forward, Sphinx pose. And so all throughout the practice, I've given some cues as to where you might direct your breath. For this posture, I find space in the side ribs to direct my breath there. You might find a different spaces for breath. So where can you find space for breath? And then release. Create a pillow with your hands, rest your head, and then bend the knees And let the feet gently sway from side to side. So go slower than you want to go. And we'll come back to center, hands underneath the shoulders or by the chest. Press up to hands and knees. And we'll come to seated. So this may be again where you'd like a cushion or a blanket underneath the hips. We'll take a little bit of a twist. So right shin in front of the left to start, simple cross-legged feet. And as you inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, twist towards the right. Release your hands down. One hand behind you, one hand to the opposite knee. You can gaze forward or back to the side. As you inhale, feel the spine get taller, round into your seat and lift to the top of the head. And as you exhale, use your belly to support the twist. Then we'll reach that right arm up and over. So using your left hand on your right knee as kind of leverage to reach that right arm up and over for a little side bend here. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. And then maybe round forward. Grab that left knee with your right hand. And as you inhale, come back up, reach this left arm up, and then sweep it behind you and down for your twist to the other side. So with all of our twists, we lengthen the spine first, and then we move into the twist. Release this left arm up and alongside the ear, take a little side bend. You lean away from that left knee. And then round the upper back, reach that left hand for the right knee, come to center, chin to chest, and then release your hands and lift up to a nice tall seat. Recross your legs. As you inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, and exhale, forward fold. So you may be a little more upright today, hands to the floor. You may start to walk your hands forward and release your head down. So again, no right or wrong way, just taking a forward fold where you feel some relief and some relaxing effort. Okay. Where can you direct that breath? Softening any rough edges around the breath again. Inhale flows into exhale and back again. And then walk your hands back towards your shins, lift up nice and tall, and we'll extend one leg long and wide and then the other. So feet can be just wider than the shoulders or quite wide, depending on your hip mobility. I like to move the fleshless sit bones out of the way, so I really feel like I'm sitting up tall. And then flex your feet, flex your toes back towards you, and reach the arms nice and wide. Okay, so another twist here. Inhale, lift up through the heart. You may recognize this from Pilates. And as you exhale, twist towards your right. And then kind of like you want to saw off your little toe with your left hand, reach forward any amount. Inhale, come on back up, sit up tall, shoulders over the hips. Exhale, twist and lean forward, reach forward. Okay, so it's called churning in yoga. As we lift up through center, again, twists always come from a long spine, and then we rotate. The body will want to, or the mind may want to speed this up. So can you slow down and feel everything along the way? Last round to each side. Lengthen the heart forward towards that little toe. And lift up towards the sky. And then coming back through center, reach all the way up. Keep that lift in the front body as you release fingertips to floor in front of you. And again, start to lean forward any amount. It doesn't have to be far. Use your hands to support you or your elbows to support you on the floor here. Inhale gently into the side ribs and the low back. Exhale, navel to spine. And maybe now you're feeling that the exhale wants to be a count or two longer than the inhale. So maybe a count of 4 as you inhale, maybe 5 or 6 as you exhale, but no extra work. Just if it happens, it happens. Last breath or two here. The navel to the spine as you press into the hands to walk yourself back upright. Sit up nice and tall. Hands behind the knees to help the legs bend. And bring the soles of the feet together. Knees come out wide. If the knees are quite far from the floor, again, cushions or blocks, blankets shoved underneath the knees is nice. And that goes for folks that are really flexible as well. We don't want to hang on our joints, right? So giving them a break. Lift the heart here, stay right here, or again, forward fold. Exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. On an inhale, reach your heart forward. Come on up with a tall spine, hands outside the knees, and draw the knees in towards one another. Just let the knees rock from side to side here. And when you're ready, um, I'll invite you to gather any props that you like around you for our final resting pose in a moment. So that may mean a blanket for warmth. You want to gauge your temperature to where you'll stay warm enough. It may be something behind the head. It may be a light piece of cloth over the eyes or socks over the feet. So gather those things around you. Take your time. And we'll meet you on our backs. All right. So once you're on your back here, just let the feet come wide and the knees touch at center. Hands can rest on the body or be away from the body. Constructive rest posture here. Just taking a moment to notice how you're feeling as we come towards our final relaxation. Remembering those limitations or vulnerabilities you wanted to be gentle with. Notice how the body's feeling now. Take a moment to notice the breath if you've cultivated a little bit more smoothness or evenness or depth in your breath. Take a moment to notice the quality of the mind. It may have shifted, it may not have. Neither here nor there. Just taking note with kindness, gentleness. When you're ready, heel toe the feet a little bit closer together. Extend one leg long and then the other. Reach the arms up and overhead. Take a big stretch, releasing any residual tension from the practice, from the body. And then we'll rest. So release the arms down by your sides, palms face up, comfortable distance from the body. Just let the feet flop open. And here may be where you gather those extra layers or socks or something over the eyes to feel supported and warm. So taking a moment to find your comfortable, reclined position. So Shavasana, our final resting place. So the body feels supported and warm. Begin to cue the body that it's time to rest. The work has been done, you've done enough. When you're ready, on the next breath in, breathe in through the nose, fill the belly, the rib cage, and the heart. And as you exhale through the mouth, let it all go. Inhaling through the nose, fill the belly, the rib cage, the heart, feel that lightness, energy. And when the exhale comes, exhale through the mouth, feel the back body sink, rest, and be supported. And keep going just like that. Inhaling through the nose deeply, exhaling through the mouth to let go. Feel the body get heavy and sink into gravity. And if you'd like to take that breath practice a couple more times, in through the nose, out through the mouth, if you need more release, please do so. And when you're ready, come back to that breath in and out of the nose. And just let the breath be effortless. Body is resting, taking in your whole body in your practice space. And bringing your awareness to the soles of your feet. And feel the feet soften from the inside out. Soften around the ankles, the calves, and the shins. Breath is easy, nothing to do, nothing to accomplish. Relax behind the knees and around the inner and outer thighs, the hips. And soften the glutes, feel that space at the low back. Bring your awareness to your belly. Let the belly be soft with the breath. And feel the mid-back and the shoulder blades deep in contact with the floor. And the arms heavy from shoulders down to the elbows, the wrists, the hands, the fingertips. And soften around the heart, the armpits, the collarbones. Breath is easy, body resting. Feel the sides of the neck long, the front of your throat open. And soften the jaw, the tongue, the ears, the temples, the outside corners of the eyes, the inner corners of the eyes soften. Relax around the eyebrows, the forehead, front sides, and back of your head. Take in your whole body resting here for just one more minute. The mind to rest, the breath to be easy, and the body to absorb the benefits of your practice today. Just 1 minute. And as you're ready, begin to bring yourself back. Slowly, gently, allow the breath to deepen. Again, the space around you, the eyes can be closed, but visualizing the space around you as nurturing, nourishing. As you begin to make some small movements in the fingers and the toes, and gently rock your head from side to side. If it's helpful, take a big stretch or move in any way that helps you reawaken with kindness. And we'll roll to one side, keeping the eyes closed or at a soft gaze to the floor. Rolling onto your side. Again, letting the belly be soft. And when you're ready, use your hands and arms to press to a nice tall seat. Eyes closed or again in a soft gaze towards the floor. So we'll close our practice together today. Let's practice to move and hopefully invigorate the entire body for the rest of your holiday. Bring your hands to heart center as we offer gratitude. We offer gratitude for our mind, our body, our breath, for our practice, and to each other for being able to practice together today. And today, as you move forward, as we move forward, may all beings everywhere be happy and free. May our thoughts, words, and actions contribute to that happiness and freedom for all. May our world be just, and may we all find peace. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.